I want to talk about SNL.
Yes.
So fun to do. And I know we're going to see a lot about it in the show, right? The whole process, how you got to do it.
Yeah, it was like one of the first times I think SNL has allowed, I think definitely the first time a reality show has been behind the scenes of SNL. So they were able to film everything, and you'll see my whole journey behind the scenes.
So when it first came about, you were like, okay, I'll do it. And then people stressed you out and were like, that's the craziest thing ever. And like you started spinning.
It had been like talked about a few seasons ago, and I was just like, oh no, I can never. Like, hats off to anyone that does it. And now after doing it, I see how crazy it is and I see why people freak. But it wasn't ever really like super official. And so Lorne Michaels came in town and had lunch with me and my mom and officially asked me to do it, and just was so charming and explained why he really wanted me to. And once I commit to something, I commit. Mm-hmm. So I said yes, had no idea really what I was getting myself into. And then I started freaking out a little bit after.
Because everyone knows that it's like such a big deal and that it's such an amazing thing to do. You want at the end of this for people to be like, wait, she's funny.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go and embarrass myself and get up there and not be funny or but I had never seen an episode really of SNL. I had gone and watched parts, obviously, because, Kanye performed so many times. So I'd been there in the audience, and then I seen a full show in person once. But as far as watching the show, I didn't really know what the monologue entailed. And so I watched one episode and saw someone and was like, okay, I got this. I feel confident. As long as it's like me and a camera, I can block everything out and I can talk into the camera and I'm good. So I knew that like once I got past the monologue, I wasn't worried about the monologue. I was worried about all the skits.
All the acting stuff.
Yeah.
And were you more like excited or more nervous before?
I was more nervous before, more than excited. But then I got excited when everyone was saying what a big deal it was.
Yeah.
I was getting so many calls. And then I was like, I have to own this. And I came prepared with my monologue ready to go.
Did that you have to memorize, or was that something was that like on a teleprompter?
No, it was in a teleprompter.
Okay. But you have to know like the punch, like you.
Yeah, and you practice it so many times that there's a whole team of writers and staff. I got amazing help writing my monologue, and I'll never take credit for it. Dave Chappelle introduced me to Michelle Wolf. And she is so funny, and she really wrote my monologue, and we were going over, all the jokes and what feels right, and Amy Schumer helped, and, so I had just so many amazing, funny friends that wanted to help and wanted to jump in, and so I came fully prepared with my own monologue.
Does that not usually happen that way?
No, I think you go and they write it with you, and you have like sessions of talking and what you want to say and what you want to do. I mean, all the comedians come, I think, with obviously they'll do their own stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how it worked. So I was like, I want to be so prepared. I want to just show up and have everything all ready.
And how did you feel at the end? Like, from the public's opinion, not that we care, did you feel like you got that stamp of approval?
Care. I do.
Yeah.
I felt like people were, because I first started asking family members, like, are you okay if I say this? And this sister was like, no, I don't want you to say that. And why are you singling me out? And I was like, okay, you know what, guys? I'm just going to have to do my thing, and you're going to have to be mad at me. You'll get over it, and I'm not going to ask anyone else. And but after seeing the response, and, it's such a rush, but, like, my team is all in the back, and they're like, you killed it. Everyone's loving it, and they're this, and they're that. And so once the monologue's done, you can breathe. And we got such a good response from it, like truly such a good response that it made me feel so confident. It made me feel so good about myself. I was like on cloud 9. And I really felt like, oh shit, I did this. Like that was so cool. Like just a goal that I never thought I wanted to accomplish. And I did. And it just made me feel so good.
You killed it. Like I feel like that's just the line. I was there. Sorry,
I remember you were there, and we didn't get a chance to meet.
I know.
And it was crazy.
I took it as like the fact that I'm even here, getting to witness you do that and kill it.
Thank you.
Like I felt like a proud mom in the audience.
Once I walked out, I wasn't nervous. I was like, as long as I just don't trip in my heels, like that was the only thing I was worried about.
And like I saw how they were rushing. It was even watching that part, being at SNL and seeing the stages kind of
It was crazy,
go
right?
like move and like this change.
And I couldn't get my earring on because you have to like take off a wig from a skit, put on an earring. So one of them, my hair was supposed to be back with 2 earrings. I couldn't get my earring on in time. So I just had to go and announce, the musical guest covered with no earring on. I was wearing those pants boots.
Yeah.
As
you always do, no?
Yeah.
That one time I was wearing pants boots.
Yeah. I could not get them on and I ripped them. Like one of the lacy ones. I was freaking out that I wouldn't be able to get dressed in time. I think I had like a minute and 30 seconds in between looks.
I saw them. That was such a fascinating part to see you on a train, right?
Yeah.
There was a woman you were holding her shoulders and she was rushing you in and out. Would you do it again?
I would do it again. I would.
Yeah.
I left feeling like, oh, I could do this again.
Yeah. And it was so funny. All the parts with your family obviously hit. They just hit. And it was so, so good.
Yeah, they were such good sports. Thank God for them.
Thank God for them.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's where everybody thinks you met your now boyfriend, Pete Davidson, on the carpet.
That is where we met.
Okay, that is.
Well, I knew him, and even I saw him at the Met. His story is that he was had been asking around for my number a little bit, and everyone wasn't really sure, is she going through a divorce? He just wanted to wait a little bit. But I saw him at the Met, and he knew I was hosting SNL, but it wasn't announced yet. And so I was he came up to me, and we were talking about SNL. And I was like, they better hurry up and announce it because I will not, back out as soon as they, announce it. But I'm so nervous. And so he just gave me good advice. And he's like, hey, take my number if you need anything. And I had gloves on. And I couldn't get in my phone with the gloves. And I was like, oh, I have gloves and I can't. And he was like, all right, cool. And he walked away. But I was going to be like, oh, but take my, and then, but it was no. And so we never connected or anything until that, not even that night we didn't. He was the one cast member that we were filming our show. He was the one cast member that wouldn't sign off to be filmed. And he wasn't there until just the day of.
Yeah.
So I didn't see him all week during rehearsals, nothing.
But that's what I'm saying. People think that you guys started this during rehearsals, but that part isn't true.
No,
you met that night?
Yeah, we met that day. He came and we did one dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
We did our dress rehearsal and then the real thing. And so the whole time when I was rehearsing, it was with a stand-in. And I was like, oh my God.
Did you have to kiss the stand-in?
No, I didn't. I didn't. And then we kissed, but we had to hold hands while we were, in dress rehearsal. That was a part of it.
But was there an inkling of did you see the BGE that everyone talks about?
I was not even focused on that. And then when we kissed, I was just
Really?
But I was
a stage kiss?
Yeah, it was a stage kiss, but it was still a little zing, but not even in rehearsal. So it wasn't anything a super crazy feeling. I was just And then I was wow, I really haven't kissed anyone else in 10 years. So maybe I'm just being stupid and it's just nothing. And it's just a stage kiss. And then a few days later, I was there is some BDE action and how am I gonna, I just got to get myself out there.
Wait, what about the after party? Nothing happened.
He never came to the after party.
He is too cool for school.
I know. He was the only person who did not come. Everyone came. The next guest host, Rami Malek. Well, everyone was there.
Dying.
Yeah.
So we didn't see the first date, obviously.
No, we just hung out.
So how did that happen?
At the BHH.
You guys love the BHH. You're living there.
Yeah,
loving it.
We love the BHH.